When World War II began, the oceans were still seen as barriers, dangerous, unpredictable, difficult to dominate. Most nations viewed navies as defensive tools, something to protect coastlines, escort supplies, and react to threats. The United States saw something different. To American planners, the ocean wasn't a boundary, it was a highway, and whoever controlled that highway would control the war. From the very beginning, the U.S. Navy was built with a mindset no other power fully embraced. While others designed fleets to survive, America designed fleets to operate indefinitely, thousands of miles from home, under constant pressure, without losing momentum. This single idea changed everything. The American Navy wasn't just large, it was self-sustaining. Fuel, ammunition, aircraft, repairs, food, replacements, everything followed the fleet wherever it went. While enemy navies had to retreat to ports, wait for resupply, and expose themselves to attack, the U.S. Navy simply stayed at sea, day after day, week after week, month after month. And that's when the psychological gap began to open. Enemy commanders started reporting something unsettling. American fleets didn't behave like normal fleets. They didn't pull back after engagements. They didn't pause. They didn't show exhaustion. If a ship was damaged, another one took its place. If aircraft were lost, more appeared. If a carrier moved, it was already protected by destroyers, cruisers, submarines, and aircraft, layers so deep that attacking it felt like attacking the ocean itself. The United States Navy wasn't just a fleet, it was a system. At the heart of that system was the aircraft carrier. While other nations still believed battleships ruled the seas, the U.S. Navy quietly accepted a radical truth. The future of naval warfare would be decided far beyond the horizon, before ships ever saw each other. American carriers became floating airfields, able to project power hundreds of miles away. This meant the enemy was already losing before they even knew where the American fleet was. And worse for them, the carriers never operated alone. Every carrier sailed surrounded by a protective ring so layered and precise it bordered on terrifying. Destroyers hunted submarines, cruisers guarded the skies, fighters patrolled endlessly, radar watched everything. And beneath the surface, American submarines moved silently, unseen, unpredictable, waiting. Challenging that meant facing attacks from above, below, and beyond visual range, all at once. No navy in the world had prepared for that. As the war intensified, something else became clear. The U.S. Navy wasn't just winning battles, it was erasing options. Enemy supply lines vanished, reinforcements never arrived, fuel shortages became permanent. Entire fleets were immobilized without being sunk, simply because they no longer had the means to operate. American submarines played a critical role in this quiet destruction. They didn't chase glory, they hunted logistics, tankers, transports, cargo ships. Slowly, methodically, they strangled the enemy's ability to fight. Every ship sunk wasn't just steel lost, it was food, ammunition, fuel, and hope disappearing beneath the waves. By the time enemy admirals realized what was happening, it was already irreversible. And then there was production. This is the part few challengers truly understood until it was too late. The United States Navy could afford to take losses because America could replace them faster than anyone could destroy them. Shipyards worked all night. Entire fleets were assembled while others were still being planned. A carrier lost wasn't a catastrophe, it was a temporary setback. For enemy nations, losing a ship could mean months, even years of recovery. For the U.S. Navy, it meant adjusting schedules. This imbalance crushed morale. Enemy sailors knew that even if they fought perfectly, even if they scored a rare victory, the ocean would still fill with American ships, new hulls, new crews, new aircraft, always more. And this realization spread. There are documented accounts of enemy forces choosing not to engage, not because they lacked courage, but because they understood the math. They understood the system. They understood that challenging the U.S. Navy meant sacrificing everything for nothing. As the war moved closer to enemy territory, the Navy's dominance became overwhelming. Amphibious operations, once considered some of the most complex and dangerous maneuvers in warfare, became routine for American forces. The Navy delivered soldiers, tanks, supplies, and air power exactly where they were needed, exactly when they were needed, under constant fire, and still maintained control of the sea. No other nation could coordinate land, sea, and air on this scale. By the final stages of the war, the ocean no longer belonged to nature. It belonged to the United States Navy. Enemy ships hid in ports, afraid to leave. Aircraft stayed grounded, knowing American fighters would be waiting. Submarines avoided contact, aware that American detection systems had grown terrifyingly effective. The challenge was no longer, can we defeat the U.S. Navy? It became, how long can we survive without provoking it? And that question had no good answer. When the war finally ended, analysts around the world reached the same conclusion. The U.S. Navy hadn't just won the seas, it had rewritten naval warfare itself. From that moment on, any nation that wanted to challenge American power would first have to solve an impossible problem: how to defeat a navy that could see farther, strike faster, recover instantly, and sustain itself indefinitely. Decades later, that legacy remains. The ships are more advanced, the aircraft faster, the technology more complex, but the core truth hasn't changed. The United States Navy is not designed to fight fair fights. It is designed to prevent them. And that is why when American ships appear on the horizon, history suggests the same outcome every time. No one challenges the U.S. Navy, because by the time you realize it's there, the sea is already lost.